I'm Aira. I'm from the Netherlands, and before I came here on this beautiful journey, I was practicing yoga there for quite some time already. I basically grew up with it, and I've always loved it. So I wanted to deepen my practice and my knowledge about yoga and everything that comes with that.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Eve. I've been practicing yoga for about, well, I think 3 years or so. And kind of found this through injury from working in the NHS for a period of time. I injured myself, and then I just rediscovered yoga to a whole different level and wanted to take it further with this course. And well, it's taught me a lot, so it's been a wonderful experience.
That's a fun one. So before I came here, I did practice some Ashtanga at home, and I always experienced it as very boring, repetitive, and very hard. And I've never really saw the magic of it until I came here. I've really started to appreciate how, when you learn the sequence and the theory behind it, how much of a moving meditation it can become, and the 2 hours you do every day just fly by in a blink of an eye. Yeah, I've really started to appreciate it a lot, and definitely gonna continue doing it when I go back home and even teach it, hopefully.
Yeah, I would say I did a little bit before coming here, but mainly just looking at a little bit online. I did one class, and it seemed a bit intimidating at first. And it was hard, which was great. I quite liked that challenge, but yeah, it definitely seemed daunting coming here to do it for 2 hours. But yeah, I think after the first few practices, you just start to really connect with the practice and the dedication and not just the physical side, but the mental, the spiritual, every element of it. You just rediscover something about yourself each practice. And I think Werner put it beautifully, like the practice never changes, but you yourself change every time. And that was just exactly how I felt. And every day was different, but you learn and grow from it. So yeah, it was lovely.
And on a more practical level, it is a perfect base for every other style of yoga you're ever gonna do. So starting from this and learning like the basic principles of the moves yeah, it's really valuable for your practice in general, I think, even if you don't like Ashtanga afterwards. I think more specific to the course, it's way more in depth than I thought it would be, in a really good way. Diving into the philosophy behind it and behind anatomy and alignment, which sounds very scary, but Lisa Morwenna just teaches so well that we didn't even have to study a lot in the end to be able to pass the exam, I think, because it just is glued to your brain once they tell it in the way that they do. So I was surprised about that, and also about the experience in general. I think you're here with an amazing group of people for 4 weeks, and that is quite an intense experience on a lot of levels. But it's also really beautiful, and it really helps you to connect with yourself and to grow as a human when you're in such a beautiful environment.
Yeah, I think for me it was just like I came here worried that there'll be a different expectation or where my practice would be with other people's, but everyone was starting from an early stage, so it felt like such a safe space to learn and all grow in our own ways, and as a team, as an environment of as a community. It was really, really beautiful. And yeah, I think from that I just learned a lot about how much I want to be around more people like this, and how empowering it is, and how much you can do being around this environment, how that environment changes you and inspires you to continue to grow in that space. Do it. Don't hold back. Like I said this earlier, even if you're not sure if you want to be a yoga teacher, I just think the people you meet here, and wherever stage you are in life, there's something you can take from it, and there's something you can take away from it and bring into your own life, into your own environment. Because yoga isn't just about the physical practice; it's about how you then end up leading your life and how people maybe want to, but they haven't found their path, or the people to help encouraging them down that path. So yeah, it's for anyone.
Yeah, completely agreed. And also, if you don't have to be a super yogi with millions of Instagram followers to be able to do this. Yeah, I guess actually anybody could just come and it will still be as valuable an experience. So don't worry about being good enough or being ready or whatever. I don't think you can ever be ready.
Yeah.
You'll get ready when you're here. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I think for me, when I was looking and researching a lot online, it seemed like it was going to be more Ashtanga-y. But I've really enjoyed that it's a mixture. Like you have 2 days doing Ashtanga for 2 hours, and you have a day of doing Vinyasa flow, and then you go back to the Ashtanga and then Vinyasa. And it's like a good combination because you get the discipline of doing the Ashtanga for a few days, and then you have this beautiful creative flow that you can tell Moena's just put so much energy and her personality into it. It's just fantastic. Yeah, they're all really creative, so you learn a lot, and as you go up throughout the 4 weeks, you kind of get to absorb more about the way that you can present yourself as a actual student, as a teacher, because you then that's a really good way of saying directions for a flow. So yeah, I think both work really well together because you have the kind of the discipline and the sequence of Ashtanga, but then you can then apply that to the Vinyasa and flow and the dynamic flows, and yeah, it's just a really nice sort of balance. Especially with the theory and anatomy and alignment, you can then put it into practice. So overall, yeah, you really grow with that sort of with both sides.
Yeah, and you get a lot of freedom to develop your own flow and to develop your own style. And even though you get the basis of Ashtanga, it's not limiting your own personal growth or the direction you want to develop yourself as a teacher in. And yeah. So many.
I was going to say there's so many ideas. For me, I guess the most recent one is I'm going to work hopefully at a glamping site to kind of teach yoga there. But I did a full moon circle here, so I really want to do that back in Suffolk, back in London, and just get a community and really empower more women to kind of just follow what they believe in and find that confidence. Apart from that, just keep practicing yoga daily and keeping up the routine, because it's nice to have that routine and just continue with your own progression as well as the other parts. And if you enjoy it and you love it, everything else will follow. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, for sure. I will also like to keep it up myself and practice really regularly because it just makes you feel so good. And more on the teaching side, I was already teaching a little bit, but with all this new knowledge, I can hopefully really take it to the next level, and I'm really excited to teach the people back home, and I'm definitely gonna try and look for a space to make this grow even bigger. Yeah. Excited!
I don't know, I think it's just been such an amazing experience. And yeah, I mean, cancer or not, but if you're worried about doing it because maybe you have an injury or you're not sure if you'll be able to keep up, honestly, that has just been so beautiful to see that people come here with injuries and different things going on, and I think that the support that Moena and Estelle give you to help you through those stages has been amazing. And there's always so many modifications and the environment to grow, but also take a step back. And for me, because I have a back injury and I had a shoulder injury here, it kind of humbles you to realise that actually it's not all about the physical practice. There's just a lot more to it, and there's so much more you can gain from this experience, even if you're not physically capable to before you get here and afterwards. So
Yeah, I think it should also really be mentioned how incredible Marwena and Lascelles are. They're just such amazing teachers, and they know a lot. And I think from their background, they also know it from a traditional perspective, but they really put it in a modern day light without disrespecting the art of yoga. I think so. It was really wonderful to learn it from them and to learn this really traditional and great foundation, but also to be able to take that into our daily lives, no matter what we do afterwards.
Sure.